How's it going, everyone? Look at you 64 here, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. As you can see, you're looking at my Switch home menu right now, moving back and forth. No, I'm not using a capture card. I don't have a good enough computer for that yet, but I'm recording this with my phone. And the reason I wanted to do this was there seems to be kind of this trend on the YouTube space recently where a lot of people are showing what games are on their Nintendo Switch, and it's always something that's interested me. I always like hearing what collection that people have amassed, whether it's like a ridiculous number like Switch Force has the guy at Switch Force has like 97 games, or some people have like all of them. Like, I don't know how you are that rich, but good for you. And that's always something that's really interested me. So I kind of wanted to go through and talk about what games are on my Switch. I have a meager 31 or 32 games. I know, right? It's such a small collection. In all seriousness, though, I feel like it's actually a pretty decent size. 30 games, nothing to laugh at. So I wanted to go through them real quick, give my honest thoughts, and maybe anybody watching this video will get some good recommendations and go check these games out. Who knows? But anyways, enough of my rambling. Let's talk about these games I have. Stardew Valley, classic, came out beginning of what 2016 at this point. Yeah, that sounds about right. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure you will. But Stardew Valley, I mean, it's Harvest Moon for the 21st century. If you can get past the original 5 to 10 hour, the first 5 to 10 hours, it's just pure joy from that point out. I love this game too much. Versus Arcade Archives versus Super Mario Bros. This is like the only way that you can play the original Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Switch right now, and it's like this. It's the weird arcade version of it that with power ups in different places, slightly better color and viewing angles. It's really weird, but I mean, it's Super Mario Bros. So how can you really complain, right? Celeste, this might be one of my favorite games of all time. And I think it's a serious contender for being my favorite side-scrolling platformer. Celeste, oh my gosh, when this came out back in January, I picked it up after hearing all the raving reviews, and the incredible mix between precise platforming and just a really engaging story is just unparalleled in any indie game on Switch. Even SteamWorld Dig 2, I'm sorry, as much as I love that game. Um, Celeste is phenomenal. If you don't have it, what are you doing? It's on every platformer. It's on every single current gen platform, and it's $20. Please, 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 please get this game. It's just the greatest thing ever. Fast RMX. In lieu of F Zero, we have this really high speed sort of racing game, and it's good. It's a lot of fun. You're able to like switch between the blue and red phase that lets you change which speed boosts that you're getting. It's a lot of fun. I played it recently with a couple friends, which is why it's so like high on my most recently played. But good game for $20. Ultra Street Fighter 2: The Final Challengers. I don't know if this was worth the $40 I spent on it. But besides the awful motion control mode that I have played precisely 1.5 times, it's Street Fighter 2. I never really grew up with the original Street Fighter 2, and those games look kind of ugly, at least in my opinion today. So to have this kind of updated port, to have this updated remastered edition, is pretty awesome. And this really is my first Street Fighter game, so I like playing it a lot. Mutant Mudds Collection. If you're not familiar with Mutant Mudds, it's like this slow, deliberate sort of platformer where you're not really going that fast per se, but everything is really spaced out kind of perfectly where you really need to. It's very slow and deliberate. That's all I can really say about it. You play as this kid with a potato gun. You're shooting aliens. It's good time. It's a good time. I 100%ed the first game in this collection. So hey, I mean, if you 100% anything, that's a good sign, right? Go pick this up. It's pretty fun. Arms. I haven't played this legitimately by myself since back in like maybe September, whenever that Misango character came out. It's a good game. I kind of dropped off pretty hard. I played it with a couple friends the other day though. So 1-2 Switch. This was fun around the Switch's launch, and it was never fun ever again. Yeah. Kudos to 1-2 Switch to being the perfect way to show to bring my Switch to a party and show it off to my friends. I remember I brought it to a party one night and we did nothing but play Quick Draw and Wizard and all those games for the entire night. It was a blast for the 3 or 4 hours that we weren't bored out of our minds. No, wait, sorry. It was fun for those first 3 or 4 hours, but I never want to go back to it again. There's no depth to it at all, and it's not worth the $50. If you're picking up a Switch now, you don't need this game. There are plenty of other games. Yeah, that's all I need to say about 1-2 Switch. On the other hand, a really, really good party game that you really should pick up is the Jackbox Party Pack 3. If you're not familiar with Jackbox, it's basically a collection of like trivia party games that you play on your phone. Up to 8 people can play, and more people can join in as like audience members. It's a great time. I love trivia. I love pretty much all the games on this collection. If you go to parties often and you like bringing your Switch with you, A, make sure you bring a dock so you can hook it up to a TV, but B, please buy this game. If you don't go to parties that often, you probably don't want to spend your money on this. Mario Odyssey, I mean, what more is to say? It's one of the best Mario games ever created. Dragon Quest Builders, this came out on PS4, like last year? I think so. It's coming to Switch in a month or a couple weeks, I want to say. I actually haven't touched the demo yet. My brother has been playing a heck of a lot of it, but I haven't, and I need to remedy that by actually playing this demo. Minecraft. It's Minecraft. Moving on. Alright, so I've gone through about 12 titles, and we're only a little more than a third of the way to the end, so let's keep on chugging on. Battle Chef Brigade. This was a really surprise hit for me. I didn't think that this kind of game would work at all. It's like this really beautiful mashup of Monster Hunter, Bejeweled, and the Iron Chef Show. Like, okay, what you do is you play as this, you play as a chef, a battle chef, okay? You go out, you hunt monsters, you collect their parts and bring it back to this kitchen. And then you put their parts as well as some spices inside of these pots that are in like the shape of grids. And you match those pieces together in like this match 3 mini game. And you serve it up to the judges at the end of all of it. It sounds weird, but it is just so ridiculously fun. You have to play it. It's great. 9 Parchments. If you can get over the jank and the weird glitches and the weird voice acting and the weird cutscenes that this game has and play this with like 3 of your friends, it's some pretty fantastic multiplayer. It's like this twin stick sort of Harry Potter world spell casting monster fighting game. It's great. It's great with friends. Unless if you just don't like friendly fire, in which case you can't turn it off and you're going to be yelling at your friends a lot. But ultimately, it's pretty fun. Rocket League. I mean, it's Rocket League. What more can you say? It came out 2016. Fantastic game for tournaments, especially. So, yeah. Snipper Clips. Might be one of the best multiplayer games ever made in or at least in the past 5-10 years, I'd say. Yeah. If you don't know about Snipper Clips, go look it up. You should get it if you have a Switch. Sonic Mania. This game, I would say, confirmed. It taught me that Sonic can be good again. Which is sad because Sonic Forces came out immediately after that and kind of ruined that legacy, I suppose. But I'm sorry, Sonic fans. Please don't yell at me like you did at the IGN guy on GameScoop. Anyway. Yeah, Sonic Mania is just an incredible throwback to the past of Sonic's legacy in the first 5 games that are kind of unanimously good in retrospect. I love this game. Please pick it up. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe might be one of the best Mario Kart games ever. And I think the battle mode alone was enough to get me back into it after playing the Wii U version. I have invested more than 50 hours into this game, and considering that it's a port, again, of a Wii U game that I've already played, that's pretty incredible. So, yeah, if you don't have this game and you have a Switch, what are you doing? SteamWorld Dig 2, the second best indie game on Switch, right behind Celeste, I would say. Steamworld Dig 2 is, again, kind of like Battleship Brigade in that it's a mashup of multiple genres, or a mashup of multiple things. Imagine Dig Dug mixed with a Metroidvania in the Wild West with robots. That's Steamworld Dig 2. I don't think I need to say anything else, do you? Nah. Go look it up. It's a fantastic game. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was just a great surprise. It was a great surprise because everybody was hating on this game at the beginning. I was too. I thought that whenever this game initially leaked before E3, that it was just going to be the most dumb thing ever. How glad I am to have been proven wrong in that case. I picked this game up basically on launch day for $60. I played it start to finish. It's just an incredible tactical game. If you like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, you owe it to yourself to pick this one up because it's just that fantastic. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, one of the best games ever made. Golf Story. I feel like this game is slightly overrated. It got a lot of attention at launch, and I picked it up, and it's good, clean golfing fun. The story never really hooked me. A lot of people, the story part of it, the story part of Golf Story was not that compelling, I'll be honest. I think there might have actually been a few translation issues, which is weird. There's some glitches. It's fun golf though, and if you have a second player, definitely pick it up because good multiplayer. Tumbleseed. I honestly feel like this should also be like a mobile game, although it is really cool with the twin stick. Basically, you're navigating this seed back and forth along this teeter-totter that you're controlling either end with the left and right joystick, respectively. I don't know if I could really recommend this one because I enjoyed it. As soon as I got it, I really, really enjoyed it for like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. But then I kind of fell off because it gets repetitive and it's very hard. Like, it's very hard. Overcooked. Another fantastic multiplayer game. I have a lot of fantastic multiplayer games. I'm just now realizing that. You're playing as a bunch of chefs in a kitchen and you're making food and you're balancing things out, and it's really stressful and anxiety, and there's fires, and yeah, me and all my friends love it at this point. Overcooked is pretty great. Oxenfree. I fell off this game kind of hard. It's fine. It's a walkie-talkie game in that you walk a lot and you talk a lot and you get to interact with the conversations, but the characters really aren't super interesting, and there's not actually much gameplay. You know what? I got this for $5. For $5, I can recommend it, but I never really got that far into it because I just kind of lost interest. Sorry. Gorogoa. This is a great game. If you are into puzzle games at all, this is a kind of an abstract puzzler where you're having to think really abstractly. You're pulling tiles from one section of this puzzle to the next. For example, if like there's a pot up in the top left corner and there's a boiler, a fire in the bottom right. If you move the bottom right tile over to underneath the pot, it'll like heat the pot up. That's a terrible example. I'm not doing this game justice, but go check it out because it is very hard to describe. Watch some videos of it if you think you might be interested. Go give it a shot. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. What really more can be said about Shovel Knight at this point? I'm really looking forward to King Knight's campaign. It's just a great platformer, just a fantastic platformer. One of what I consider to be like the holy trinity of modern platformers. That being Super Meat Boy, Shovel Knight, and Cuphead, and maybe now actually Celeste. I would say, but maybe I don't know. Splatoon 2. I got to level 20 in this game, and I am a professional in Salmon Run. So, and then after that, I quit because I felt like I'd accomplished all my goals. Great game. I not to diss it or anything. I just fell off because I have 30 stinking games that I need to play on here, not to mention my Super Nintendo Classic Edition. So, Splatoon 2. If you don't have this, pick it up. Kamiko for $5. It's like a really fast-paced version of the original Legend of Zelda, where you can play as 3 separate characters who each have their own unique playing style. It's pretty cool, especially for $5. Axiom Verge, another Metroidvania, basically. Yeah, it's really is a lot like Metroid, in that it's like the original Metroid, like in that it's 8-bit as opposed to 16-bit, or it's not really 8-bit. It's kind of reminiscent of 8-bit games. And it has like this really dark atmosphere that I really dig. And yeah, I mean it's basically a reimagined telling of Metroid. World of Goo, I haven't touched this. I feel really bad about that. I missed out on World of Goo whenever it came out on Wii back in the day, and I don't know why I haven't played this yet, but I need to really play it. So I can't really give my opinion on it. And finally, Arcade Archives, Mario Bros. Fun fact here. My dad was actually the Mario Bros. The original Mario Bros. Was one of his favorite arcade games. He was an arcade nut back in the day. He doesn't play video games that much anymore, but he would always tell me how he would prefer Mario Bros. Over Super Mario Bros. Any day, and especially the arcade version. So whenever Nintendo announced this arcade version of the original Mario Bros., I knew I had to get it because my dad, he absolutely loves the arcade version of this game, which I found was like, it was super cool. It was like this really specific to my situation, like perfect time to come along. Yeah, and I don't know. It's cool for me anyway. Anyways, that's my entire collection of games. I got a few more that I mean I really want to pick up, but I'm saving for a few other things at the moment, like a computer and whatnot. But if I had unlimited money and was made out of gold, I would get things like Blossom Tales and Enter the Gungeon. There's a few more that came out recently. I would have gotten Doom and Skyrim and probably not LA Noire, but yeah, there would have been a lot. There would be a lot of games I would get if I wasn't a minimum wage teenager. Anyways, that got weirdly real. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think about my Nintendo Switch collection of games. Tell me if you think that there are any more I should get. There are, but maybe I just can't afford them at the moment. And tell me what games do you have in your collection that I am totally missing out on, that I just really need to get it together and pick up. Let me know down in the comments. And hey, while you're here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. I'm Luigi64. I'll talk about everything Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch games, of course, and whatnot. And hey, while you're down there, let me know what you think about kind of recording my screen this way. If it works out in the future between now and the time I actually get a legitimate computer, I might just record games this way. I don't know. Let me know if it looks like crap, so that I'll know not to record like this again. Anyways, guys, what are you still doing here?